Welcome, everyone. It's Genene on day 27 of your 30-day yoga journey towards more meaningful connections, where today's practice will be focused on balancing our third eye chakra. If you're interested in more in-depth information, I invite you to check out my website where I have a series of longer and more in-depth videos on all of the chakras. For today, you may need a block, you may need a chair. And please remember to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I'd love to hear in the comments how this practice worked for you, if you felt more connected, more balanced in your third eye after practice. Let's begin in child's pose. So right away, you may need the block for that. That's why it's there. Because you want to go into child's pose, big toes together, knees wide. And then bring your forehead to the floor. And if it doesn't reach the floor, then that's okay. You have your block. If this hurts your knees, throw a blanket behind your knees. And then stretch your arms out in front of you. And reach your hips down and back. So you're literally physically connecting with your third eye here by having the block touch that area. Draw your hands underneath your shoulders. Press yourself up to a seated position. And then let's clasp our hands behind our back. Doesn't matter which clasp. If you need a strap, then you can use that instead. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, straighten your arms behind you. Bring your hands back. Clasp your hands the other direction. Inhale again, lengthen the spine. And exhale, straighten your arms behind you. Palms will come towards each other if you have the flexibility. Throat open, head back. And then release. Inhale, stretch your arms out to the sides. Exhale, cross. Right arm over left and hands grab your shoulders as you give yourself a big hug. Inhale, stretch your arms to the outside. Exhale, left arm over right. Hug yourself again. Come to hands and knees. Cross, right thigh over left thigh. Bring your feet wide so they'll be wider than your hips. For Gomukhasana, legs to start, sit down. And this is where, again, that block is handy if you need to sit on said block. Make sure your feet are wide enough so that eventually you could sit down. And then inhale your arms out to the side for fun. And we'll add the arms. So the left arm is going to come overhead, bend at the elbow, come to the back, and then the right hand thumb goes down, sweeps behind the back, and the hands reach each other. So I have a whole 7-week series on Gomukhasana on my channel, so I'll link that down below. For now, inhale, uncross everything, come back to hands and knees, and come to the other side. Coming into the legs however you like. Flex the feet. And add the arms. Inhale, arms out to the sides. Opposite arms, right arm overhead, left arm, thumb goes down and sweeps behind the head, throat open, head back. So making sure that you're not dropping your head forward to try to reach your hands and touch them. And release. Come back to hands and knees, uncross the legs. And stretch everything out, downward facing dog. Reach from your heart up through the crown of your head. And then from your heart up your hips and down your heels. Firm your right leg. And reach your right leg straight up to the sky. Keep turning your right thigh bone inward. Look at your right big toe. Make sure it's pointed straight down, and then use your strong glutes to lift your right leg higher without opening the hips. And now reach your left heel down to the ground. Exhale, set that leg down. And from your left leg, lift it high. Engage your glute. Lift. Reach your right heel down lower. And then set down your left leg. Come down onto your knees. If you have a block, grab a block. You might like it, you might hate it. Let's see. Put it in front of your mat, longwise, on level 1, so the lowest level. So you're going to frame the block if you would like, if this works for you, and place your forearms down to the ground. If you don't like, you just still place your forearms down to the ground with no block. Now, forearm plank. Step your legs back one at a time. Your hips and your shoulders in one straight line. Pull up on your low belly and push the floor away with your forearms. Hold here. This pose is great for building strength for Pincha Mayurasana, which is basically forearm arm balance with your legs in the air. Keep focused on what drew you to your mat today. And then from here, it's fun. Lift your hips higher. Lift your hips high, high, high to the sky. And then walk your feet in a little bit closer. So keep your elbows right where they are. If they moved out beyond wider than your shoulders, then you need to come down onto your knees, reset the elbows, and then come up. Don't try to do it with your legs, with your knees lifted. Then walk in a little bit deeper. And just keep going to your edge. So it's like you're pulling your heart through your arms, but you're walking your feet towards your elbows. Keep pushing the floor away with your forearms, and then walk your feet back. And then, with your palms pressing down, really press down strongly and just see, maybe you can push your forearms off of the ground and come into downward facing dog from here. Push. If that didn't work, come down onto your knees and then lift your arms, downward facing dog. Okay, from here, let's give a little more love to our triceps. Swing your elbows in towards each other and slowly lower your elbows an inch, and then another inch, and another inch, and another inch, and one more. Back down onto your forearms, go into plank, and hold. And then from forearms, yep, lift up into dolphin. This is called dolphin here, lifting the hips in the air. And then push the floor away with the forearms and lift. Now, you can do this nice and slowly. You can do it nice and fast. Well, fast isn't going to get you anymore. So we're going to do one more. Slow. You can't lower. A little bit more, a little bit more. Hover, and then lower the forearms all the way down. Come into plank on the forearms, and then we're going to stay on the forearms now and just move the hips. So first, plank, forearm plank, and then dolphin. Reach the hips up and back. And now inhale, forward. Exhale, lift up and back. Inhale, come forward. Two more. Exhale, and inhale, exhale. And inhale, hold, push the floor away. Come down onto your knees, opportunity for child's pose if you need it. Stretch your hips down and back and see how this feels compared to the first child's pose you did today. Draw your hands underneath your shoulders and press yourself up. Option for Pincha Mayurasana if that is part of your practice. If it is not part of your practice, you're going to follow along with me. I'll show you what to do. Make sure, first of all, your chair is out of the way so you won't kick it. Any props, get them out of the way. And then we're going to come onto our forearms. And those of you with your practice, either you're at a wall or in the middle of the room and kicking up in your own time. The rest of us, tuck your toes, lift your knees, press up and back, dolphin. Now walk your feet in a little bit, pull your heart through, push down through your forearms strongly, firm your right leg, and lift it straight up to the sky. So if you want this to be more challenging, you walk your feet in a little further, use your pelvic floor to help you stay lifted, and then lift the right leg. As you lift the right leg up, play with lifting the left heel high and then lowering it down and staying connected, reaching through the crown of your head, but pushing the floor away with your forearms and using that pelvic floor to keep you stable. One more, lifting the left heel, and one more lowering and lower the right leg. Maybe you come into child's pose in between, or maybe you're ready for the left leg. Firm it, lift it in the air. You can use your glutes to lift higher and then play with lifting the right heel and lowering. So you're getting the idea of eventually that right leg lifting up, except that it would be bending. So we'll be doing that later. And one more lift and one more lower. Come down into child's pose just for a moment. Okay, another opportunity. Take your hands under your shoulders. You can do another pincha, or you can play a little bit more. This was with the block if you would like. So again, you frame your hands on the block. It oftentimes depends on if the block is the right width for your shoulders, whether this works. Okay, then you lift up And you firm your right leg. And this time, bend the left knee and straighten. But keep that right leg turning in. Keep it strong and straight. And then bend and straighten. Keep going. Keep pushing the floor away with your forearms. Nice, steady balance. Lift the right leg a little higher and then float it down, other side. So this is all your work for eventually going into pincha, maybe. And then bend the right knee, straighten. Keep going, bend and straighten. But you're extending through the crown of the head, again, using your head to help you rather than it just kind of hanging out. And straighten and lower down, child's pose, just to regroup and to reconnect with your third eye. Exhaling deeper than you inhale. Slowing your breath. Take your hands underneath your shoulders again. Use your abdominals to press you up. Come to hands and knees. No need for the block anymore, perhaps. Thread the needle. Inhale, left arm off to the side. Exhale, slide it under. Twist to the right. Walk your right hand forward. Come onto right fingertips. Draw energy from your right fingertips into your right shoulder blade. Right hand can come behind you on your back or not. Inhale, unwind. Press the floor away to untwist and go to the other side. Inhale, right arm off to the side. Exhale, slide it under the left. That left hand is there to assist you. Maybe going deeper, maybe not. Try walking your left fingertips forward. Connecting the left arm bow deep into the left shoulder socket. Maybe you want to bring your left hand to your low back. Maybe that didn't feel good today, your choice. Inhale, untwist. Press the floor away and come to a seated position. Make sure you're comfortable. So if you need to grab that block, do that. And then try crossing your legs the opposite way from the way you generally do it, just for fun. And once you've found your comfortable seat, closing your eyes. Move your attention to the center of your forehead, in between the eyes, and see your chakra there, a condensed indigo blue vortex of energy between the size of a quarter and a $50. Allow this light to open you to your own inner wisdom. Ask your third eye chakra if there is anything it wants to tell you. Being gentle with yourself as you listen to what's there for you today. Let go of any judgments that come up and let your thoughts flow. Begin to take your attention back to your whole body. Take a deep breath in and then sigh it out. And return to your natural breath. You may choose to stay here or lie down in Shavasana, staying there as long as you like. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon, tomorrow. Namaste.